Let's come back home and tell you about Parliament. It is investigating a small fire on the first floor of the Goodhope chamber. However, reports on the ground suggest that an office where a light bulb exploded caused a spark. It is not gutted. Our reporter Athi Mtongana standing by to tell us what more we know. Athi?
Yes, Juju, well, I can confirm that this incident has delayed the Deputy President Paul Mashatile's maiden Q&A session. However, the bells are being rung now, indicative of the session about to begin. It was meant to start at 2 o'clock, so now we have seen the Deputy President being escorted back into the chamber. We saw him walking with his bodyguards. However, where we are told there were initial reports of a small fire right behind us, due to the signal, we will not be able to move around, but it seems now the situation has been contained, and what we heard on the ground is that an office has been affected, one small office here on the first floor of the Goodhope Building. So I'm going to ask my colleague to pen once again back to us so we can have a quick conversation with Parliament spokesperson Moloto Mothapo. Moloto, talk to us about what has transpired.
Well, firstly, I think we need to emphasize that there was no fire. So what happened is that earlier this afternoon, just before the sitting of the National Assembly to conduct questions for oral reply for the Deputy President of the Republic, one of the offices on the first floor, there was a light capacitor. It's a component of the light in that particular office that created some spark as well as a smoke. So the smoke, of course, went through the corridors.
Yes, because we can actually smell that smoke even where we're standing. I guess that's why people had initial reports of it being a fire. But you may continue to clarify.
Yeah, but this is, as you can see, the smoke will obviously freely come from the top because you can see it's open there, coming from that particular office. So that then triggered the fire alarm. And that is the reason why there was some kind of disturbance here just by the chamber of the National Assembly. And as a precautionary measure, we had to stop the sitting to make sure that, the origin of the smoke is attended to. And it was swiftly attended to, and it was found that no, it is just a light capacitor, a small component of the light that was creating some spark. And I think there was some wire that then got a little bit affected and then caused the smoke to be flowing from that particular office. But as you can see, the house is back in session.
Who did you call to respond to it, and how quickly was the response? This, of course, given the National Assembly building fire that gutted not only the National Assembly but some parts of the old assembly. But what I'm trying to get to here, Moloto, is that I'm sure even staff members and the country is still, traumatized by what happened, the building burning here inside Parliament. And so what I'm trying to get from you is how quickly were you able to respond to this?
Well, because of the experience that you are referring to, I mean, we had to take the matters very seriously. Once anyone was beginning to smell the smoke, our protection officers, security services, were the first to actually go and inspect. But of course, we had to call the professionals as well, who responded very quickly. There were just a couple of fire brigade people, officials who came, and then they found that no, it was just a spark. There was no immediate danger to any occupants of the building, and I think it was removed so that the smoke can be stopped. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. The spokesperson to Parliament, Moloto Mothapo, giving us details about this incident, which has caused a delay in the maiden Q&A session of the Deputy President Paul Mashatile. In fact, they have started the sitting, and I'd like us to listen in on the Deputy President's first question and answer session here in Parliament.